let us understand the general methods of preparation of alkenes. So what are alkenes? They are aliphatic unsaturated hydrocarbons containing double covalent bond between the carbon atoms. They would be the compounds like this. Between the two carbon atoms there would be presence of the double covalent bond. Now this alkenes can be prepared by different methods. What are the different methods? From alkynes. Alkenes can be obtained from alkynes, and they can also be obtained from alkyl halides. Then they can also be obtained from vixenol dihalides. And from alcohols. So these are some of the important general methods that we need to understand for preparing alkenes. First, from alkynes. So what are alkynes? Alkynes are again aliphatic unsaturated hydrocarbons which are containing triple covalent bond between the carbon atoms. So between the carbon atoms they would be having the presence of triple covalent bond. From alkyl halides means one atom of hydrogen from the regular alkane would be replaced by a halogen. Such compounds are called by the name as alkyl halides. So by taking alkyl halides as our starting material we can prepare. Then vixenol dihalides. What do we mean by vixenol dihalides? Say for example, now this is an example of vixenol dihalide. If the adjacent carbon atoms or the successive carbon atoms are having the presence of halogens, one carbon atom and the next carbon atom. Each carbon atom in turn is linked with a halogen. So such halides are called dihalides because there are two halogens attached. And vixenol means they are present with respect to the neighboring carbon atoms. The halogens attached to neighboring carbon atoms. We also have what are called as geminal dihalides. Geminal dihalides. So what are geminal dihalides? Here the case is where two halogen atoms are present with or attached to the same carbon atom. Two halogen atoms attached to the same carbon atom are called geminal dihalides, and the neighboring carbon atoms or the successive carbon atoms or the adjacent carbon atoms having the linkage with one halogen each are referred by the name as vixenol dihalides. So either we can take vixenol or geminal dihalides, but as per our syllabus let us stick on to the vixenol dihalides as the starting material. Then alcohols. Of course we are talking with respect to aliphatic alcohols where one hydrogen atom of the alkane replaced by the OH group. So by taking them as a starting material also we will be able to obtain alkenes. So let us understand each method one by one. First one is from alkynes. So from alkynes. By subjecting alkynes to the process of hydrogenation. By subjecting alkynes to the process of hydrogenation in presence of Lindlar's catalyst. Here is a very important point. We are making use of Lindlar's catalyst. So what is the composition of this Lindlar's catalyst? It is pelladized charcoal or pelladized carbon. Pelladized charcoal partially inactivated by the addition of sulfur compounds. So we are trying to inactivate by the addition of sulfur compounds. Why are we trying to inactivate this catalyst? It is because if we do not bring the process to a halt by putting the catalytic poison, it will undergo further one more step of hydrogenation and will yield us the next product, that would be alkane. That is not our requirement. So, in order to bring the process under control, we are adding the sulfur compounds which will act as catalytic poison. So, this is the composition of Lindlar's catalyst. Pelladized carbon partially inactivated by the addition of sulfur compounds. The sulfur compounds that can be used are quinoline or maybe barium sulfate, anything. So, now let us make use of Lindlar's catalyst. Now what happens? This dihydrogen, atomic hydrogen from the dihydrogen, will take the attachment in the place of the triple bond. One hydrogen here, another hydrogen here. So the triple covalent bond would be broken down to double covalent bond. So what do we have here? R as it is to be written, then C as it is to be written. Now with that we should link it with H. Now instead of triple bond it is double bond. Again one more H in this case. So therefore CH3. So we obtain alkene. So what is the process we are carrying out? The process is hydrogenation. We are trying to add dihydrogen or the molecular hydrogen for the alkynes by taking Lindlar's catalyst. This is one method. Another method, by taking the same alkynes as our starting material, by subjecting it to the process of hydrogenation, this time in presence of sodium, in presence of liquid ammonia. They will release the hydrogen and this hydrogen again takes an attachment in the place of triple bond. One hydrogen here, another hydrogen here. Therefore, the dihydrogen is completely utilized, again giving us a similar kind of product. RCH double bond CH3. In simple alkynes, whatever the product that is obtained as an alkene, we don't see much difference. But yes, if we take larger alkynes or higher number of alkynes to prepare higher alkenes, then the type of alkene obtained would be a cis alkene. Similarly, the type of alkene obtained with sodium in liquid ammonia would be a trans alkene. Now what do we mean by cis alkene or trans alkene? Very simple. Cis alkene means on either side of the double bond if alike groups are present. Like this. On either side of the alkene, if alike groups are present, then they are called as the cis isomers. And alkene can be called as cis alkene. Then what is a trans alkene? If on the opposite side of the double bond groups are present, then such an alkene is called the trans isomer or else as transalkene. So transalkenes, allyl groups would be present on the diagonal opposite sides, whereas in a cis alkene they would be present, allyl groups would be present on the same side of the double bond. So with Lindlar's catalyst, the product obtained would be a cis alkene, and with sodium in liquid ammonia, the product obtained would be a transalkene. So this is the general reaction. Now let us take up the specific case. Now replacing R with hydrogen in first case, what do we get? So H, C, triple bond, CH. So this is nothing but CH, triple bond, CH. So our starting material is ethyne. Ethyne is subjected to the process of hydrogenation in presence of Lindlar's catalyst will yield us. So now again we will land up in one hydrogen here, one hydrogen here. So therefore CH2 double bond CH2. So we obtain ethene, the first member of alkene. Similarly, in the second example, let us replace this with CH3 and see what we get. CH3 single bond C triple bond CH. So our starting material is propyne. Propyne is subjected to hydrogenation. Either we can maintain the same Lindlar's catalyst or else we can take this. So sodium in liquid ammonia. So sodium in liquid ammonia. So one hydrogen takes attachment here, another hydrogen with this carbon atom involved in the triple bond. So we land up in the formation as CH3 single bond. Now one H here. So CH double bond CH3 because one more H here. So therefore we obtain propene. So this is how we obtain by the process of hydrogenation. By the process of hydrogenation to alkynes, corresponding alkene can be obtained. It can be either a cis alkene or a transalkene. Now let us learn the second method of obtaining the alkene. From alkyl halides. Alkyl halides, otherwise also called as haloalkanes. So from alkyl halides how is it possible for us to obtain haloalkane or alkene? So let us see this process. Haloalkane is subjected to treatment with alcoholic potash. What is this alcoholic potash? Potassium hydroxide along with ethanol is alcoholic potash. This is a very good dehydrohalogenating agent. So the chemical process that we are carrying out is dehydrohalogenation. Now what happens when we use this? potassium of the alcoholic potash will combine with the halogen here. The halogen considered is Br, so they get removed like this. Then the hydrogen of the haloalkane will combine with the OH of the potash, forming water. In